Hello everybody, it is Turtle Gaming coming at you guys with a kind of, I don't know how to describe it exactly, kind of like suggestions, or like advice, for any of you guys wanting to play this game on Nightmare, and like wanting to beat it. It's really, honestly, it's not that hard, in my opinion. I've played through the game plenty of times, like a lot of times. I've only beaten it like maybe 4, 5 times, including this one. But uh, let me show you something. When you play Nightmare, I highly suggest building like a lot of your weapons and all that, because when you build your weapons, you can make your weapons super overpowered, and they could just do so much damage. I mean, so much damage. Like, see, there's that sword. I don't really have another sword to compare it with. But you got that one. That's a really good bow. See, like, Dorian only has like a 110, 147, and I made it, okay? Another thing I suggest is look up, like, first off, if you're gonna play this game and try to like beat it on Nightmare, I suggest playing through the game at least like once or twice, because there's a lot of like hidden armor that you could find around the game. There's a lot of weapons you could find around the game. There's a lot of like, there's some merchants that sell really good items that, you know, you might want. I'm not going to show you where those are. Maybe. I might. But I mean, that could be another video though. What else? I also suggest playing a mage, because mage, I feel like, is probably the most powerful build in the game. The two-handed warrior is also pretty good. I feel the hardest build for me on Nightmare was probably the archer, because the armor isn't really that great. When you're first starting out, like, the bows aren't even really that good. Like, they do like 60 damage, and you're just gonna get run up on like 4 to 5 people. Whereas, you know, if you're a mage, you could always unlock, hold on, let me show you what ability it is. You could always unlock this one, the fade step, and it lets you pretty much, like, let's say I fade step from here down the stairs, and I could like go to here in the matter of like less than a second, all because I fade stepped. Yeah, I'm currently trying to like get all the trophies for the game, but as party members, when you're playing through the game, I suggest Cassandra or Blackwall. Those two are the best tanks in my opinion. Who else did I choose? I think I chose, yeah, I chose Sarah, and I might have chose Solus. I don't think so though. No, I chose Vivian, because when you're a mage, out of all the customizations you could choose, you could get Night Enchanter, and Night Enchanter has an ability where when, like, let's say your entire party is down except for you, you can use an ability that resurrects all of them with full health and maybe a little bit of armor. I'm not really sure. I didn't really have to use it that much, but then again, I wasn't like fighting dragons or like giants or whatever. And when I did fight a giant or a dragon, I was like, I made sure I was like like a decent amount of levels higher than them, like maybe like 5 to 10 levels higher than them. Another thing about this,
More red lyrium. Well, try not to touch it or anything.
okay, um, another thing about this is, what was I saying? Oh God. Hold on, let me show you guys. See? Vivian also has this right away. Like, or like once you reach a certain level with her, she unlocks her like her Knight Enchanter tree and all that, and then you could get this one. But if you don't do Knight Enchanter, I've noticed you could also do this one, which isn't really as good, but it's better than nothing, you know? And then you could always have Vivian on the side. Maybe you want to play like a Necromancer or something. It's up to you, you know? Like I said, I didn't really find myself using Knight Enchanter a lot. Like, I barely used the ability, or I barely used this ability. I mean, this stuff's probably better, right? Yeah, the barriers. Another tip, if you're gonna play a mage, focus on barriers and trying to make your barriers last. Because the longer your barriers last, it's pretty much, you could take on as much damage as you can as long as the barrier's up. So that's literally like the enemy isn't doing anything to you while you're doing all that damage to your enemy. So it's really useful, and like I said, I really suggest focusing on making your barriers last as long as they possibly can. But if you're also playing a mage, you really want this fade step, because let's say you're getting, you know, like 3 enemies are on you, next thing you know you just gotta boom like that and you're repositioned. Okay, it's like, yeah, they could always come to you, you know, and just team up on you again, but it's already recharged, so I could do it again. Or I could freeze them, I could do a lightning, or if you're a Knight Enchanter, you could just melee. Kind of like that. What else? What else? I recommend playing the game, when you're playing it through a couple times, I highly recommend playing it on like casual or normal, just so you could, 1, get a feel for the game, 2, you can kind of like learn where, you know, like where the powerful enemies are, where the stronger enemies are, where the weaker enemies are, and, you know, because that's kind of how I did it. I played through casually a lot, and then I tried playing through on Nightmare, but I kind of messed up a little bit. I was like a level 3 or something. No, I was a level 4, and when you're going on to like do a Templar or Mage, you know, quest, one of those two, when you have to choose which one you want on your team, I was, like I said, I was a level 4. The highest recommended level was like a level 7 or 8? Man, I don't remember. There's some people out there that are probably like, no, it's not, it's actually this level. Either way, I was the lower 2 levels, because it always suggests the level, like 4 levels of what you want to be. When you're playing on Nightmare, those bottom 2 levels don't matter. If you go in on those bottom 2 levels, you're gonna get destroyed every time. Like, it's without a doubt. Hold on, let me show you guys. So as you can see here, like, this is the...
Well,
Indeed.
the Chantry has yet to collapse on itself. That's something.
There will be guidance. No doubt Madame Vivienne will deliver edicts when she becomes divine.
The people won't accept a mage.
We shall see.
So like I said, the lower levels like levels 20 or higher. Usually 20 would be the lowest level, and it would probably go up to 24. If I was still playing on Nightmare and I wanted to, you know, play through this, I would have to at least be level 23 or 24. Because if I played, let's say I played as like a level 20 or like a level 19, like you could do on
You've styled
casual.
your hair that way for ages now, Leliana. Why don't we do something new with it?
I'm used to the way it is.
What about our commander?
Talking.
He does something with his hair already.
Oh, it does look very
Talking.
nice today.
I don't.
You mean it just gets that way on its own?
Not entirely.
Give up. Anyway, if I were to go in at a lower level like 19 or 20, like you could do on casual, if you do that on Nightmare, you will, like I said, you will get destroyed, okay? I've already done it, I've tried. It's really hard. Like, I wouldn't even recommend doing it just because you're just gonna end up going back to an older load or an older save that you had, and you're just gonna be, you know, farming up your levels pretty much. So yeah, I suggest being at the highest recommended level, or at least like right below it. So you want one of the 2 of the higher levels rather than 2 of the lower levels. I'm telling you, it works wonders. You're gonna enjoy it. Another thing I suggest for this, try to like really like organize what characters, like which accessories which characters have. So like Cassandra's a tank, so I want her to have like as much I basically want accessories that'll help her just be a tank. So like Warcry just improves your guard. Just cut out the whole accessories part. Another thing I suggest for the Nightmare mode, another suggestion for Nightmare mode. When you're doing a tank, either Blackwall or Cassandra, Vanguard, you want as much guard as possible, because guard really helps your tank be a tank, okay? And like there are a lot of abilities here that kind of help, you know, Cassandra or Blackwall be a tank. I've also noticed there are some abilities, I don't know which ones yet. There are some abilities that'll give like your other party members guards, or your other party members guard, and it just helps out a lot because a lot of your enemies are going to be focused in on your tank. A lot of the time your tank might get down, but hey, you got that little revival thing as Knight Enchanter or as a normal mage, so it doesn't really matter, right? Another thing I suggest, upgrade your potions as much as you can. And what I mean by like potions, I mean like healing potions, okay? You want to upgrade your healing potions because as you progress through the game and as you get like closer to the end, healing, like, you know, I can't show it, but the bars for your health, so like right here you can see I upgraded these 2. You could probably do the regenerations and tonics maybe, you know, like rock armor. I thought that would be useful. I need to get the trophy for upgrading this 30 times. And that's gonna be a pain. The jar of bees also kind of help because it makes your enemies panic, and your enemies panicking is exactly what you want, because when your enemies are panicking, they're not attacking you. The entire trick to nightmare mode is pretty much how much damage can you do and how much how less damage can you take. So, like I said, your barriers, those are really important. The guard for your tank is really important. Making enemies panic is also really good because that's less time for the enemy to attack you. Which, you know, that's a given. You don't want enemies to attack you on Nightmare. If I could play through this entire game without getting attacked, I would. Okay? Believe me. This game would be so much
This place gives me a
easier.
headache.
You want this triangle ability right here. You want that as a mage because it also creates panic. And if you do if you can do this upgrade, this toggle upgrade, I feel like it's mainly about preference. Hold on, I gotta sheave. There we go. If you could do this toggle upgrade, as you can see, I found this one better because when it leaves down that flame, it also ignites other enemies on fire, doing more damage to them. And that's what you want. You want as much splash damage as you can, and you want enemies to panic because they're literally just going to run away from you. And if they run really far away from you, that's going to take longer for them to run back to you, which is less damage they could do to you, but more damage you could do to them. So, that's a good tip right there. Oh yeah, this Mind Blast. It kind of helps. It doesn't really help a lot, but I mean, you know, it's like there are some times where I'll do the Mind Blast and it doesn't even work. So this is up to you if you want this ability. I wanted it because for this one, it just makes your barrier stronger, which is always good. I should have done this one. Yeah, this one kind of seems good. I mean, I didn't need it, as you guys can see. I mean, I already beat it on Nightmare. You really want this one though. Guardian Spirit, you want this for any mage you have. Because if you don't do this, anytime your person is critically injured, instead of the barrier, they're just gonna die. Like, you know, you might as well just get this one. So whenever they're critically injured, a barrier pops up and then you have like that little bit of time. Maybe you could like pause, think about what you're gonna do, or like go into that, you know, this thing and just be like, okay, take a little breather, you know. Maybe you could like once it starts going down, you could put a barrier on yourself and then do the whole, you know, do a little bit of do that, run away, you know, and then it regenerates, and then do that ability where it like revives everybody. It all just depends on you basically. If you're not doing a mage, then I don't know what to tell you. I feel like if you don't do a mage, you gotta do that whole, I don't even know how to do it. There was a way in Dragon Age Origins where you could like focus abilities that you want your other party members to use more than other abilities that they could use. So like the barrier mages will always, like your other mages will always set the barrier before you go into battle. So like if you see an enemy and you start attacking, they're automatically going to set that barrier. I don't know, I think they're going to hit as many people as they can rather than like your tank, which when you go into battle, let your mage, your other mage, set a barrier on someone before you do, because that will give you like a little like estimate of like who else would need a barrier, and then it also gives you time to like see the enemies attacking, and depending on who the enemies are going to attack, like all of them could attack your tank. So if there's a barrier already set on your tank, you don't need to set that barrier on your tank again, so you could just wait until their barrier is depleting. Or let's say like 2 enemies start fighting your tank might have your guard and a barrier, so it doesn't need that extra barrier. So if they're going to attack like Sarah, oh my god, dude, Sarah used to go down kind of a lot. But if there's like enemies that are going to like gang up and attack Sarah, obviously you're gonna want to put more your barrier on Sarah. So a lot of the, you know, the battles are just seeing how your enemy reacts, which is again another reason why I suggest playing through this casually or like on normal, so you can really get a feel for how the enemies act towards you and how they're gonna like react to what you do, and how they're gonna like try singling out, you know, other party members from you. But I got off topic. I noticed that. But if you can see, there's those like little bars of health. The potions, the healing potions, if you don't upgrade them, they're not gonna fill as many of those bars as they usually would. Versus if you do upgrade them, they're just, you know, they're just an upgrade. They're gonna fill up more bars, they're gonna give you more health. I highly recommend doing that, or else you're gonna be drinking through potions like no one else, okay? You're gonna be going through potions like crazy. Another thing I suggest is upgrading how many potions you can carry from 8 to 12. That helps out a lot. You might not think about it at first, but once you start getting into the story more, you start needing more potions. And once you upgrade it to 12, it still doesn't seem like a lot, but it is, okay? Another thing, like for the hinterlands, my very first like encounter, once you do that first camp, you go and you have to attack the crossroads and all that and defend the people there. I went through like all my potions, I had low health, and then like after the cutscene you have to like go on about your business and just, you know, keep on trucking through the entire hinterlands. There was a tip, because I looked up a video of like nightmare mode and all that, and this wasn't in the video, but if you don't have trials on and you like don't need a rest or anything, let's say like, hold on, I'll use a better example. Alright, so here I am, right? I've already done it. Let's say I battle a few enemies, right? I take out a little bit of damage, as you see. Let's say I have no more healing potions. A trick I found anytime you fast travel somewhere, so let's say you just got done with this battle at the crossroads, you fast travel, boom, everybody's fully healed. And I'm pretty sure that it might restock your healing potions too. I think. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while. It's been almost like 2 months.
We'll make good use of it.
But, yeah.
Just one iron. Ram chops, ram cutlets, braised ram with all the trimmings.
Do as many side quests too. Cause you don't want a lot of power, but you still want like a decent amount of power. Just be patient. You know, cause there's a rift on this lake right over here that you can't defeat until you're like a level 6 or 7. So you just gotta be patient with some enemies. You just gotta be prepared, I guess. Because on casual or normal, you could pretty much just speed through. You could pretty much just speed through the game a lot faster. But on Nightmare, it's really just all about knowing where to go, what enemies you can attack, what enemies you can't attack. It's all about knowing where to find the best armor. And when you go to the war table to do your missions, I suggest looking up a guide for like, cause you could find really good armor at the war table, like just from doing missions. You can find weapons from doing missions and all that. So I recommend either like looking up a guide, or if you know like where to get some of the armor from the missions, you know, I highly suggest doing that. And enchant. Enchant. Enchanting could really help out in situations like when you're facing a dragon. They could also help when you're like, let's say you got the DLC and you're going into the deep roads. You know, you could get an enchantment that helps you with going onto the deep roads. Or not going into the deep roads. I don't mean going into the deep roads. You can find an enchantment that does damage towards darkspawn, so that's good. Sell anything you don't need. So like that, I don't need that or that, so I'm gonna sell these two. Keep your inventory as small as possible, because it's just good to have a small inventory, but at the same time you also get you also get more money to buy any better item that you can't really build yet. Another thing with playing through like 1 or 2 times before you start your nightmare,
Quartermaster is expecting something back.
You'll have any requests and the associated billing when it is appropriate.
excuse me,
That's not what I think he meant.
I am
excuse
well
me,
aware of that.
excuse me. Oh no. Anyway. See, I forgot what I was gonna say. That dagger looks like it's from Dragon Age 2. The second one to the right. Oh, jeez. Another thing. When you play through this the first or second time, you're gonna get a lot of schematics. And I don't know if you guys have this. You could probably look it up on YouTube. There's a golden nug. When you're in Haven, the golden nug is where the smith is. Same thing for Skyhold, so you just go down here. Down to your basement, cellar thing. I don't know how to call it. You just go down there, and there's a golden nug. So anytime you find like a really good schematic on one playthrough, you can just go to this golden nug. That's okay. And just like that.
So I'm thinking... Inquisition? Almost gotcha.
So yeah. There is that. I didn't know... Don't know why it's... I thought I had all this already. But as you can see, you get every other, every schematic you've gotten from your other playthroughs, which help out a lot. Because you could craft, these two. I don't know. Oh yeah, I want a cowl. Ooh, that's cool. You also want to farm any like plant that you see, harvest it. Any like metal or raw metal that you find, or raw material, mine it, because it's really good. Okay. But that's... Hold on, let's see if I can get the trophy right now. What is that, level 4? I need level 4. I don't have a level 4. Man, there's a trophy for level 4. You have to craft things. You have to craft an armor using 4 level 4 tier items. And I have yet to do that. What's a level 4? Dragon scales. It's pretty much just kill dragons. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if I can think of anything else. I hope this video kinda helped, giving you guys like advice and all that. If you have any more questions, you can... Wait a minute. There was a barrel down there. Can't get to barrel. That's upsetting. I feel like you should be able to get to that barrel.
A nice simple blade. Can't go wrong.
I don't like nice and simple, dude. Not on Nightmare. You need the best blade. Yeah. I can't really think of anything else. If you guys have any more questions, like regarding the Nightmare playthrough, and like, if I didn't answer any questions you had in this video, or if you just feel empty with what I just gave you, leave a comment and, you know, ask a question or whatever. I'll try to answer. Yeah, I'll answer them. I'll answer any question you have. But if you like this video, be sure to leave a like if it helped you out in any way. Subscribe for more videos, because I try to upload frequently, because you know the YouTube algorithm says people who upload frequently and have long descriptions are gonna be, you know, the videos are gonna be put out more than people who just upload like once every couple months. So I try to upload a decent amount. Plus, you know, you never know, you might like some of my videos. So go check out my other videos. I played through Heavy Rain. Currently in a Detroit Become Human playthrough. And I have more Skyrim videos to edit and make. So if you guys want to check those out, be sure to subscribe and or just click on my name, my channel name, and it'll show you the videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time in whatever video game I'm playing next. Goodbye.